Good morning, Tubo. So here we are back into the world of Fallout. Now, this time around, I want to be showing you how to make your first base. Best thing to do after you go down to the first town, rescue all the survivors down there, bring them back up to Sanctuary, is best thing to do is use Sanctuary as your first actual base. Now, this town is already done for you, so use the buildings that you can. That's going to be the first tip. I have made a metal structure and put it right in the middle here, but then I realized that actually, why don't I just use the buildings that are already set up for me and just tidy the place up a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. So first things first, what you need to do is come up into this part of the town here. This has got all your crafting stations and all the rest of it. Use this as your main location. That's what I'm going to be doing. So everything that you need to put down here, put it in here. That's important, so you know where it all is. This has got all your crafting tables and everything here, so you may as well use this as your main point of town. So going into your crafting menu, if you're on PC, just hold the V button. That will bring up the crafting menu, and then you can start going around the town like this, and it will highlight different little bits and bobs that you can actually use. Best thing to do to begin with is go around, find all the crap that's lying around on the floor. So this is stuff like rubber tires, tricycles, bits of fallen down tree, any metal, anything like that. Just literally go around, scrap all of this, scrap all the mailboxes and everything once you've taken stuff out of there. Scrap everything and you'll get a load of resources straight off the bat out of all this kind of stuff. So obviously the more resources you have, the more stuff you can build. Starting right at the look at all this stuff I'm getting just from a ruined house. You can then use this actually as a base platform for a new house that obviously you're going to be wanting to build. But the first things first, go around all the town, just literally scrap everything you can find to get all those resources, and then what you want to do is come back up to your focal point of the town, which is that building with all the craft tables, and literally develop your base out from there. So to begin with, you'll have 5 survivors up in the town with you. So what you want to be doing first is building 5 beds. So 5 beds you can stick either in a house like this, or you can make an actual structure like this. I kind of wish I hadn't done this one now, but I'm going to leave that there until I sort the town out a little bit more. But like you can see, just come in, just stick a bed in here. That will make sure people are happy because they've got a bed to actually come back to. So once you've done that, the next thing you want to be looking at sorting out is your resources. So at the minute, I can't actually build anything in terms of the water. Oh, I can now. Oh, good. I've actually gone around and picked up a load of enough resources now. So that goes to show you, make sure you go around and pick up loads of resources, because this will give you loads of options. So you can use this to build your water. So this water needs to be built on dirt. I would suggest building just a couple of them, and then you'll obviously not have to worry so much about it when you start getting a few more survivors in. Next off, go into your food. This is a little bit more difficult, this one, because this is actually reliant upon if you've got any seeds or anything. So if you haven't found any seeds yet, there isn't going to be any options for you in here, unfortunately. So best thing to do is go into your resources, miscellaneous, and then build a couple scavenging stations. This will actually, if you assign someone to them, which I'll show you how to do in a second, this will actually give you more or this will give you people to go off and scavenge stuff with and all the rest of it. Make sure you build a fast travel pad as well. You can only build 1 of these per town. I've put mine there, so every time I fast travel, that's exactly where I'm going to be coming up to. Just going to make your life far more easier. If you need a bell, I would put one of these down right outside here. So if you need to get people to you, bring this and they will literally just come out from wherever they've been, and they'll just jump onto that bell and wait for you to give them commands. If you need to put something else, you can put a siren down, which actually does require power, just to be aware of, but this will actually alert all of your survivors in the town if you're under attack. Speaking of which, that's probably going to be your next thing, is going into your defense, and then you can either put down guard posts, turrets, or traps. I've just put down 1 turret either end of the town at the minute, because obviously I'm only focusing on this section of the town. This is all I need to defend at the minute. Now I've removed that broken down house, it gives me a good line of sight as well for people that are going to be trying to storm me. If your defense is quite low and your resources are quite high, you're going to be getting attacked very, very often. So that's just one thing to be massively aware of. You need to be getting defenses down pretty damn sharpish, especially once you start getting all the resources in, because bandits are going to be looking to come in, take over your town, do you lots and lots of damage, which is obviously not very nice of them, not very good of them at all. So that's one thing you want to be making sure you've got down pretty sharpish. You can actually talk to all your survivors, you can actually pass them over guns, ammo, make sure you've always got them with a weapon, because if you do become under attack they can actually help you as well, so make sure they're always prepared and they've always got something to defend themselves with. So moving back out into the power, so you've got loads of different bits and bobs in here. Power generators, you want to obviously be putting one of these down pretty quickly so you can actually start powering your town. Obviously build a bigger one if you can, which you should be able to once you go around and literally scavenge or salvage everything. So make sure you salvage everything in the town, give you loads of resources. Like I said, once you've built your generator, make sure make sure that you start connecting it up to whatever needs power. So if you've got any lights, you've got a siren, you've got anything like that, make sure you are connecting it with the connectors and switches. Just make sure, because that will catch you out if you haven't done this and then you become under attack. That's gonna obviously really mess you up because nothing's actually powered. There's loads, as you can see, there's loads and loads of different things in here. What I'm going to actually put down is a so make sure you put down a recruitment radio beacon. These are going to be quite important because this is actually going to start bringing people into your town. So should be able. Oh, I haven't got enough crystal. Damn it. Okay, never mind about that. Just put that down as soon as you actually get it. So coming back out again, out of all the power. Make sure you're not actually highlighting anything when you come out of the menu. That's what keeps happening. You can now start actually putting down your stores and everything, but before you do this, you actually need the local leader perk, which I assume is going to be in the charisma skill. So once you start putting down the stores and you start getting lots and lots of people in here, you can start making a really, really good town, and a really beast of a town, actually, a really good town. So going into structures, this is all your houses and everything, fences, walls, all that kind of stuff. What I'm just going to show you quickly is going into the wood part. You've got your prefabs, which are already made bits and bobs for you. So if you're not too confident in the base building, just use one of these. This will actually give you an already constructed building. Obviously it's going to take up a fair amount of resources. Just pop right there, just to keep aware of what stuff is using. If you enjoy actually making your own stuff, then it does give you the option with walls, corners, roofs, all that kind of stuff. So using a ruined house as a surface, which is going to save you resources anyway, you can actually start looking at building your own houses on this kind of stuff here. Definitely worth doing. The more houses you can start getting built up, the more beds and stuff you can get in, more people you can start attracting and all the rest of it. Just make sure that everything is well defended. If you start building outside of range of your turrets and outside of like the main part of your town, make sure that you're moving the turrets or putting new ones up so you can actually defend yourself. Little bottlenecks like the bridge here, this is going to be a perfect thing to defend. Once you actually venture, or once you actually build your base out to this point, it's going to be a perfect spot to actually defend things like this, as obviously people are going to have to be running over the bridge here. You can set up a couple turrets, a couple traps, and it's going to stop people pretty sharpish. So look at things like that. Obviously you can be attacked from every which way, so just be aware of all your weaknesses. Best thing to do, especially to begin with, is when you've got all your structures, beds and all that, all your resources and everything set up, any bits that are a little bit vulnerable, go into your structures here and then go into your wood or metal and then start looking at building actually no, my bad, go into your fences part and then start actually building some fences up. This is going to stop people actually taking over, and it's going to block people from certain areas, so make sure you're doing that, as that will actually buy you a bit of time as well for people to get caught behind the fence and then either shot by your guys or shot by your turrets. So that was just a very quick glimpse into the beginning part of building a base. Like I said, use all the buildings to your advantage. Try and save as much resources as you can. Run around and literally scrap everything that you can. Run around, scrap everything that you can, so you're getting as many resources as you can. This is actually absolutely perfect as an initial town to start building. You've already got 5 survivors. Once you start getting beds, resources, stores and all the rest of it set up, then obviously you're going to be attracting a lot more people. But keep in mind as well, once you start venturing out into the world, you can build up other towns, and then you can actually develop caravan trade routes that actually link to each of your towns, so they bring in different resources into each of the towns. So obviously making sure that each town is self-sufficient, and if not, then they're actually supplying each other with the different bits and bobs that they need. Now, I have to say, I really don't enjoy doing all the base building and all the rest of it in most games, but this game is so easy to do it in. It's such a joy to do it. So I'm going to leave it there anyway for this guide. I hope this guide is going to help some of you. If it has, please leave a like, subscribe, all that lovely fan doobie-tastic stuff. That would be awesome of you. But I'm going to leave it there. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.